Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier and welcome to my breakdown of stealth, how it works for real, and how it's shaping up within Star Citizen. This video took some time to piece together, so if you liked it, please do me a solid and link it to a friend. It's with your help that we can spread the word about Star Citizen. Let's begin. With the release of the Eclipse to concept, there's a new category of components labeled simply Stealth. They range in quality from A to D, A being the best. Before we can learn to hide, we need to understand how we're seen. The human eye is capable of detecting a very narrow part of the spectrum. The eye sees the energy that's reflected off or emitted from an object. This is a passive system. An example of an active system would be radar or sonar, which works by sending out a strong pulse and then analyzing the return. Active scanning is more reliable, but the pulse would always compromise your location. The original concept of stealth involves camouflage, the act of blending in by color, but also sheen, texture, movement, and shape. The eye has a harder time seeing objects if they blend in effectively. Imagine an object painted the same color as the wall behind it. Now, because of technology, humans have pushed beyond visible light into thermal, ultraviolet, multispectral, and hyperspectral. Special sensors such as thermal imagers allow us to see more detail. A thermal imager is a special sensor which, when cooled down, is able to see heat variations. Using the same example as before, but now the sensor would see the object as a unique temperature, and the once camouflaged object would be easily distinguished. Law enforcement use multispectral sensors in the range known as near-infrared to detect cannabis plants purposefully hidden amongst other plants. Plants appear green to the naked eye, but display a unique signature to the sensor. The sensor is therefore a better eye and helps us to see more. In Star Citizen, the developers have decided to include three methods of passive detection: infrared, or IR, electromagnetic, or EM, and cross-section, or CS. These three signatures are being fully simulated in the universe, and they're also the three choices of missile lock. Depending on how you manage your ship and its physical attributes, you can have a direct effect on how detectable you are. Once stealth mechanics are fully implemented, it makes sense to run a ballistic-only weapon loadout. Unlike an energy weapon, ballistics have a reduced draw, helping you to keep that signature down. I'm also expecting to train with the limits of reduced output, heat management, and ammo management. For stealth, the most important number on your HUD is ambient IR, and ambient EM. Ambient IR is the average level of heat in your current chunk of space. Moving closer or further away from a large heat source, such as the sun, would alter the ambient levels of infrared. A flare would spike the ambient, but would instantly burn your stealth. Ambient EM is the level of electromagnetic noise in your current chunk of space. The number will change for many reasons, including storms, other ship activities, and active sensors. As a rule, the higher the ambient level, the easier it would be to hide. Here's a scenario to illustrate how ambient affects detection. You're having a conversation with someone in a small isolated room. The ambient noise level is very low at 10 dB. It's very easy to clearly understand. Now add a 5,000 watt concert speaker broadcasting white noise. The ambient noise level is now 80 dB. The spoken conversation is the same, but because the ambient is so loud, it's fully masked. If you plan to operate undetected, all efforts must be made to reduce your signatures by running conservative, changing tactics, and using special low-output systems. The goal of stealth is to bring all aspects of your ship as close to ambient as possible. Cooler heat signatures, quieter electromagnetic signals, and when combined with a small ship, a low cross-section as well. None of the planned systems are fully implemented. The scope and scale of stealth gameplay is as ambitious as any other system within Star Citizen. I expect with Item Port 2.0, all the capabilities and limitations of the chosen components will have a direct impact on ship performance and its signature. Low signature is only part of remaining undetected. If CIG adds active scanners into the game, there are going to be even more things to consider. Modern radar is an active scanner. It emits a very strong wave at a tuned frequency and then collects the return. No return means no object. To deal with radar, stealth aircraft use special scattering surface materials and shapes to redirect the signal anywhere but back to the origin. It was originally unclear if this type of scanning would be added. However, specific mention of scan diffusing technology was included with the Eclipse concept documentation. This would open up some more options for sensor ships such as the Endeavor. There are currently 4 ships in Star Citizen built for stealth: the Hornet Ghost, the Saber, the Prowler, and now the Eclipse. They use low output components, special construction, and offer the player unique gameplay options. The community desperately needs an updated breakdown of the stats before we can get a clear picture on how these things stack up. The Hornet Ghost is the oldest and tankiest of the four. In its day, it was very hard to detect, but with advancements, it's said to offer a fair resistance to detection. Next is the Saber, which is much newer in design and was built with stealth in mind. This modern fighter trades durability for agility and added some tech to reduce detection. The Prowler is an alien stealth boarding craft which was set at concept to be the one craft that can get you in and out undetected. Its design is very deliberate, and I'm sure there'll be some upsets in the future if it's used as intended. And finally, the Eclipse. The recently declassified stealth bomber with the most current stealth components available to the civilian market. Normally I wouldn't rely too much on the stats page, but because it was just launched, the stats for the Eclipse are more likely to be accurate. Its equipment comes with a C or B rating, which suggests room for future upgrades or the announcement in the future of a better stealth ship. With stealth, I think we need some game features. First, a preset toggle between a user-defined normal and low power mode. Using the MFDs, the pilot will be able to adjust the presets and then switch based on the situation. You could decide how aggressive you wanted to run in an attempt to remain hidden. There should be an obvious visual cue within the HUD such as color change as a reminder. For every game feature, options should be available to counter them. I would love to see a ship or ship variant tuned to provide early warning. Something like a Terrapin variant with a scanner capable of only identifying masked signatures. Some of the best games in history have options for one team to counter a threat or tactic used by another. Please let me know in the comments about ideas that you'd like to see. In conclusion, stealth is just one more part of our universe that I'm really looking forward to. I hope you enjoyed this no bullshit breakdown of stealth. If you got something out of it, I would really appreciate your help in linking it to a friend or orgmate. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.